very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on it.
That wasn't planned.
You know what? But I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
it. Good morning. We have reached another Monday. Happy Monday to everybody out there. So I watched the Challenge USA 2 yesterday, but like I told you guys, it's a lot for me to do recaps of Big Brother and the Challenge on the same day, and it doesn't allow me to dedicate an appropriate amount of energy to each. So as long as Big Brother's on, those days, which for now is Sunday and Thursday, are both going to be Big Brother days, and the following day is going to be the Challenge day, especially Thursdays, because I ain't about to sit up from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. to watch the Challenge and then recap the Challenge and then jump back on for Big Brother. That's too much. That 10 p.m. slot that they put the Challenge USA 2 in, playing games. So anyways, to jump into this recap, we ended episode 1 on a cliffhanger. TJ said it's a 2-part premiere, so I don't know why the 2 parts were split up into 2 different days. They should have been on the same day, but whatever, they decided to split it up Thursday and Sunday. So in the last episode, we had just figured out this whole scheme that the winning team from whatever squad wins gets to choose one male and one female to go into the elimination. But then there's this secret vote done by the other teams to pick who gets lotto balls. And basically they get to vote for somebody from one of the other teams to go into the elimination. And however many votes they get are represented in a number of these lotto balls. And then TJ spins the wheel, and the name that comes out determines whether it's going to be a male or a female elimination day. So we were waiting to see who was going to go in, either against Lewis or Michelle. No, Lewis or Amira, I'm sorry. We're waiting to see who was going to go against Lewis or Amira. So if a male name had been picked, then Lewis would have gone in against the male. And if a female name was picked, then the name that was picked goes in against Amira. So Michelle gets picked, so that meant that Lewis was off the hook. Yeah, the secret vote. I'm going to get back to that later, actually. Sorry about that. So, yeah, so we get Amira versus Michelle. And I'm like, okay, we get to see Amira go and do some kind of physical challenge. But then as soon as I saw it and what it looked like, I was like, okay, this is largely luck based. Because they're strapped up in this harness. The harness dunks them into a tank. There's 1,500 balls in the tank, and you get dunked in, and you try to scoop the balls out onto the floor, and the person that gets the most of them out wins the elimination. So I was like, all right, I know there's a little bit of strategy to it, but it's, I don't know, I would say a little more luck than strategy. I heard Johnny yelling to Michelle and being like, kind of corral them all to one side and then push them out. I know there's some kind of ways to to do a little bit of strategy, but it's not like one of those ones where you're mano a mano and you're harnessed next to each other, you're pulling each other, or it's not like a hall brawl, or it's not like something where you're lifting something and completing a puzzle. I don't like this. Like, this is something that I would like to do, you know, like personally, because it looks fun. But if I was in a game and I'm trying to win $250,000 and this determines whether I stay or go, I'd be a little upset about that. And honestly, guys, as soon as I was watching it, I was recalling my conversation with Amira at the premiere party, and I messaged her. She responded, and she was just like, "Man, I did CrossFit training." She was like, "I was working on my endurance. I did all this. I was in the best shape of my life," type of thing for this game, and then I get kicked out in this dunk tank type of thing. So Michelle beat her, I think, by like 17 balls or something like that. Maybe it was like 13-02 for Amira and 13-19 for Michelle. How are you even gonna know who's up and who's down? It was just the luck of the draw. So the green team lost one of their strong girls, which I'm disappointed about because I'm Team West always. And that's a good number for Wes's team, but it is what it is. You know, she's a rookie in the game. That's how the game goes. Actually, what was interesting to me, well, I don't think there are other vets on the green team. And red and blue were kind of combining at that point in time. Like, they were strategizing together. Let's take out somebody from the green. And there was no like vets really, so I guess Amira was the easy choice. That must have been so frustrating. My kids could have smashed that game. Yeah, and then I told her, like, man, y'all were doing so well in the daily. Like, the green team was ahead in the daily. If only Amanda had remembered those symbols. And she was like, Amira was like, yeah, I was so pissed because Amira told us that she's the puzzle master. That was that was so she didn't have to carry anything. Vet move, Amanda. That was a vet move. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh yeah, so you know, Michelle wins. Michelle goes back into the house. Michelle, what's her name? Michelle had some comments for Amanda right before she had gone down to face Amira, and then Amanda was pretty much like, come up close. We need to have this like face to face later if you win type of thing. The thing with Amanda, some people love Amanda. I don't, but I fully understand why Amanda is on the show because she's not a part of a big group. It's almost like Kellyanne on All Stars. Yeah, Kellyanne has like a couple of friends when she goes on All Stars. Johnny, I think there's like one other. What's her name? I can't think of Kendall. Yeah, like Kelly, Johnny, and Kendall. But overall, it's not like she has a tons of friends and allegiances, and she's dramatic. So I know she's that wild card. And I also know she's probably not the first pick or the first choice when they're like, oh, we're putting together this cast for this thing. All right, we got to give Amanda the first call. I know Amanda's probably alternate. Even though she's been on several challenges, I know she's probably alternate. And then they're like, okay, we got this demographic, we got this group, we got this person, we got this type represented. Now we need the dramatic person. Well, I know they have several dramatic people, but a dramatic person who is more of a wild card dramatic person, not someone who's just dramatic in general. They have her and they have Polly. Those are two people in this season who are like that. So they get back in the house. Wes is like, oh, what did he say? She wants to apologize or something like that. Amanda was like saying Amanda wants to apologize or something to that effect. And Amanda was like, no, I don't. She's like, you're just mad because you Fessy wanted me over you, and Michelle's like, oh my god, like you're still talking about Fessy, you still like Fessy, and Bananas is like, your women are summoning you, Fessy. Your women are summoning you. Everybody was just sitting around enjoying them fighting. It honestly, it reminds me so much of like a high school environment, because I remember when I was in high school, when people were arguing, we would get so excited. It was like, yo, you're gonna let her talk to you like that? Fight back, fight back. I feel like the challenge brings out people's inner child, because in all reality, as dramatic as an Amanda is, let's say, she goes home and she has mom responsibilities, and I wouldn't even be surprised if she has a very low-key, like regular degular life where she takes care of her responsibilities and is low drama in general, and then comes out here and is like, yo, this is my time to have fun, to mess with people, to do these challenges. Yeah, so they had that fight. They go into the daily, and Green, I think, is realizing, the Green team, which is the team that Team Desi picked out that team. They're kind of realizing, okay, red and blue are against us, so they're just gonna pick us off. So we have to win. They did really, 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 really well in that daily, and they won the daily. I was especially impressed by Amanda. Amanda actually, she made it across in her heat, and then she assisted the other two in her heat in getting across. Josh was joshing on his team. He fell. A lot of them fell, but the green team won. The green team won is my point. So they get into a deliberation, and they're deciding who they are going to pick as the male and female who are going to go into the elimination. This is the least power that I have ever seen or heard Wes ever have in any deliberation. Because I realized there's only 6 of them, right? There's only 6 MTV vets. And he sat at the table and was kind of like trying to make an argument for them not to pick 2 vets. He was just like, okay, like maybe we can work with them, or then after that didn't work and everyone was like, nah, we want 2 vets. Michaela was like, the same intel that you give us is the same intel that Johnny gives the other team, and this person gives the other team, Corey, whatever. And he said, okay, so can we compromise? You guys pick 1 vet and 1 rookie. And they're like, nah, we're not picking 1 vet and 1 rookie. Like Wes, we like you here because you're basically our coach. Basically, they told him that. I mean, not in as many words, but essentially it was like, Wes, we like you because you are good at the game. We like you because you can assist us in knowing how to win challenges. But in terms of your voice, it doesn't matter here. That's all you are. You're the person who helps us get to the end. And we want to knock off all the other people, and we only want to be the only team with the only vet. And that kind of says to him, you're expendable, because if they target all the vets right away and he's the only vet left, that means that every single time that the green team loses, there's going to be a lot of those balls that say Wes Bergman on them. So, oh man, as much as I love my vets, they are severely disadvantaged. And this secret vote, when I did my interview with him, and he said, as if we were not already disadvantaged, you'll see something that TJ did that made it even worse. Now I know what that thing is. This secret lotto ball thing. Wow, this would be the hardest season that if any of those vets make it to the final, kudos to them. Not even just Wes. If Johnny, Tori, Amanda, like if any of them make it to the final, I will be very, very impressed. Very impressed. Because it seems like all the other seasons and other teams are comfortable with being like, let's get out the vets and then let's play ball from there. And they have the numbers to do it. Okay. That was such a good view. You love how Who described it. Your next interview with Wes will be fire. Yeah, and actually I'm gonna reach out to him. I mean, not for an interview, but I'm actually gonna reach out to him after I finish this live to tell him that I know that disadvantage that he was speaking of. The whole season is a wild card now. They'll have to change. But you know what? The rookies have a good strategy. But the thing that I was thinking about, Lisa, is that we know, I feel like they don't know as much, but we who have been watching the challenge for 20 plus know that they don't keep teams. So I think this team thing will probably last for, I can't even say, maybe like 6 to 8 eliminations or something like that. And then TJ is going to be like, okay, now we're going to do something different. Every man for themselves. And then it'll be something that levels the playing field. Because I honestly can't see them sticking with this team thing to the very end. They don't do that anymore. I think they had a couple of years where they did stick with teams like that beginning to end. But it was years ago the last time that's actually happened. They always start with the team and then break it up or split it up somehow. And especially because it's one male and one female that's going to win, it's probably going to be a thing of like drafting at some point, like a guy picks a girl or a girl picks a guy type of thing, and then they end up being in pairs, 1-1. So I guess it would be in their best interest. But for me, it's like a mixed bag, because I know they don't want vets who've already won this before to win again, but also you do want somebody with experience to help you win a final, because look at the benefit that both Casey and Amber B got running the final with CT. The final became real easy for them running with CT. Now, they could have ran with some rookie, and it's like, oh, yeah, I want to run with this rookie because none of us have won money. Well, that means that now you have to navigate territory that you haven't been through before, and it just changes the complexity of it for you. But I've realized these Challenge USA people are just, let's get these challenge people out. Let's get these challenge people out. I don't even want to win with a challenge person. So where are we at here? So the green team won the challenge. They dismissed Wes's opinion. Wes had no power there. He had to just kind of throw his hands up and accept what was happening. So they picked Johnny Bananas and Tori. And I think that Wes went back and told Johnny Bananas and Tori, like, I tried my best, but they were not having it at all. The rookies were strong. And Wes even said in the confessional, Wes was pretty much just like, if they're this united against the other vets, how are the other teams? In other words, what he was trying to say is they unanimously decided we're going to put in the 2 vets from the other team. So he said he's probably thinking to himself, if everybody has the same mentality as my team, that means that the next time we lose, I'm the only vet. Me and Amanda are the only vets on this team. So it's going to be like Wes and Amanda, Wes and Amanda, Wes and Amanda. I guess in terms of staying in the game, it's the easy move. But truthfully, I would rather have Wes on my team than Monty on my team. And it's not even, that's not, honestly, that's not even shade at Monty. It's just like Monty just got there. So, if they went for Wes first, the next person that they would try to get out is Monty because he's big. And then even if Monty wins everything and stays in the game, he's never played the game. So I wouldn't trust knowing that he's going to help me in a final. Like, people assumed that because Fessy is big and strong that he would be good in a final, but how many times has he been there and he's never won? So we get to the lotto ball situation again to see if it's either going to be Bananas going against somebody or if it is going to be Tori going against somebody. So TJ's like, we have a name. Picks out the name. 2 weeks, 2 female days. Isn't that interesting how those balls have dropped? 2 female days in a row that we get from the random draw. And the female that had the most balls put in there by far was John A with 5. And TJ was even like, John A, ooh, you're scary. She is, man. But the thing with how the challenge is that I said this at the beginning. John A has a scary all-around game. She has a scary all-around game. Like, if you get John A into a final, she's good. She has good endurance. She's good. She's very adaptable. As I was talking about with Olia in our recap last week. She's very even keel. Puzzle master, because the puzzles are the equalizer. Like, she might be a little behind in a run, and then boom, boom, boom. I do these puzzles with my kids. Finishes the puzzle in 2 seconds, and then they keep going. She's won twice. She won 2 back-to-back, and basically she was the female winner of All Stars 1, but at that time only the male got a prize. So she's essentially kind of won 3. So I mean, for the rookies and the other shows, it was a big W for John A to go against Tori, and especially in this kind of elimination. This elimination was the type that Amira probably would have won against Michelle. But they're all cool because Amira and Michelle were buddy at the event, so they understand it's just the game. But yeah, Tori got something that was ideal for her. She's bigger than John A. She's stronger than John A. And this was not really much of a strategy thing. It was more of like a wrestling game. Wrestling and strength. And we know that Tori is good at those. Although there are women there that would challenge Tori in that department too, but just not John A, because she has a size and strength advantage over her. So Tori ends up winning convincingly. Wes says, oh, well, it shows the other people that if you want to throw in your challenge people, this is what's going to happen. Well, in a way, it does. But in another way, it seems like they're willing to take the easy route. Put 2 challenge people next to each other, if we can, until they take each other out. And then we're going to start going against each other when we have to. In all honesty, I have to admit, it's the same. It's like the same thing that the challengers did when it was only challengers on the show, where they're like, the rules of the game are that we are going to just put the rookies in every time until the rookies are out, and then we're gonna go after each other, you know. And they're basically looking at the challenge vets like rookies, not in terms of saying that they suck or anything like that, but just we outnumber them. So if everyone else is together, I mean, let me see, 9, 7. Let me see, 9, 7 is 16, 18. 18 other cast and 6 challenge cast. One is gone. So like 17 other casts and 6 challenge casts. So mathematically, they can keep doing this, you know, at least another 2 to 3 times. About 2 to 3 more eliminations they can do this strategy before they have to start being like, either we go against each other or we have to go against the vets that we're trying to get out. For me, I hate this. I don't mind the vets going out, but I feel like I wish it was like, if one of those rookies took the vet out, then I'd be like, okay, change of pathways, changing of the guard. You know, they won it fair and square. They removed them from the game. They had a chance to fight, and then they removed them from the game instead of like, we're putting them to battle out and take out each other. But hey, I'm not going to say that it's a dumb strategy either. I'm just going to say the vets might be important to them when they get to the final. That's all. Rookies are so quick to dismiss the legends. What is it about not respect? That's what even if you're going to take them out, I'm like, even if you have a plan to take them out, why do it this early is what I'm trying to say. Because if you think of it, if everybody is a united front, like having Janae on the red team, I mean, yeah, Janae had a beef with Michelle, or not necessarily a beef, but like she doesn't trust Michelle and she voted for her. But Janae is more valuable to a team, in my opinion, than Michelle. So not having Janae on the team is going to make it harder for the red team to win. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking really short-sighted. When you never play the game, why would you eliminate people who know how to get you to the end? Very, very short-sighted thinking is my answer. And then some of these Challenge USA 1 people that came back feel like vets. I'm seeing that also. Some of these Challenge USA 1 people feel like vets. So yeah, so Janae gets taken out by Tori. Tiffany's commentary is funny. Like, you're slamming the hell out of her. She got kids. Yeah, she gets taken out, and then you get a choice when you win an elimination. This reminds me of, what was it? I believe it was War of the Worlds, where it was like Team US versus Team UK, where if you won an elimination, you had a chance to stay on your team or switch to the other team. So they got the similar choice. In this case, they got to choose whether they wanted to stay with their original red, blue, or green team, or if they wanted to. I think Tori was blue, so she had a choice if she wanted to stay with the blue team or switch to another team. And she said, red is looking pretty good, but a lot of y'all probably voted for Janae. So I see how y'all do your team. And so I'm going back to blue. And I was thinking to myself, I think the reason why she wants to be on the blue team is not even just because of that. I think it's also because she wants to be spread out, because most of her allies are on the red team. Most of her allies are actually on the red team. So it's just like, even the ones that are her allies by default. So I think that she's like, going on the red team will put a bigger target on my back. So let me just stick with blue. And plus, I've had problems with Tori in the past. Tori has annoyed me in the past. No secret about that. But one thing that we know about Tori, I think it was also from War of the Worlds. If War of the Worlds is the season where Jordan proposed to her, then that's the season that I'm thinking of. Tori's badass when it comes to eliminations. I mean, she's lost her fair share too, but she's won a good amount. And she's won some in dominant fashion. Like, she mollywopped Amanda. She just dominated Jade. She did lose to Anissa, but I don't know. That was a weird limb. But one thing about Tori is, yes, she will fight the political game and do her best not to have to go in or whatever. But in a season where the odds are stacked against her like they were in War of the Worlds, she'll go in. She'll go in over and over and over again. She'll go in repeatedly and she'll take people out. She'll take out a lot of people. So they should be scared of her for real, because if you're going to try to keep throwing Tori in. But the tough part for the vets is the same way that the green team views Wes is the same way that the blue team views Tori. Clearly, it's like Tori is a workhorse that's gonna help carry us to a point, but we're also we don't care about her being on the team. Like, we don't care about her long-term success. I was excited when I saw that Desi picked Wes, because Desi was one of my favorites in the previous season. And I'm like, I wish that she had gotten a fair shot in the final. And I was thinking, oh, Desi respects Wes, and that's the reason why she picked him first. But now the way that I saw how she did him in the deliberation, I almost feel like they're like, Wes is one of the most dangerous in the game, so I'd rather have him standing next to me than being somewhere else. Like, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer type of thing. I think she does respect him, but I also think that she's like, we're going to use him to a certain point, and then we're going to get rid of him before the final. I would love if when it becomes pairs, though, well, I shouldn't say when. If it becomes pairs, because I don't actually know, but just based on the history of the game, I do think this team thing will split up eventually. I think it would be cool to see a Wes Desi pairing, but I also don't know how long Wes is gonna last. The odds are stacked against Wes, Johnny Bananas, Tori, Corey and Amanda, though, I feel like they're less stacked against Corey and Amanda. Even though people have been talking about Corey, he's the lead. He's like, having Wes and Bananas on there as huge shields for him. Huge shields for him. Even though he's made multiple finals and everything, people don't look at him with the same revere as they look at those other guys. Amanda, I don't really think that they care that much, and they're not that worried about her, so she's in an ideal spot. But specifically, Wes, Bananas, and Tori are going to have huge targets on their back. So we'll see. I mean, I guess stranger things have happened. CT has made it far and won when he had a big target on his back, but there wasn't this many numbers that were just from other shows. Like, there was a lot of people from his show that were like, CT is a threat, but there was never a season that he was on that he was so outnumbered, and then had this whole secret voting thing. All those factors make it really difficult for me to see them coming out. So early on, yeah, I think the green team, I still think on paper the green team looks really strong. The red team looks the strongest, but they also have the most vets. So I don't know how that's gonna go. It's really early. It's really early, but as an overall, I loved the episode, even though I hated both of the limbs. I didn't hate the second limb. I'm just saying I hated seeing Janae go. I didn't want to see Amira go. So both people that I wanted to stay ended up going. And I hated seeing Wes get silenced in the deliberation. That's a first I've ever seen that. Well, no, that's not true. There was that season. What was that season called? The season where Johanna and Kenny got together. I can't think of it right now. It was not the island, but it was the one where Wes came in the season with Kellyanne. There was a triangle with Koheta, and there was Johanna hooking up with Kenny and all that stuff. And he was on a team, and the team, he was trying to like talk to the team and convince them of stuff, and they're like, we're not listening to you, and then he tried to sabotage them. There was that, but just in terms of a season that he came on and he wasn't causing drama, there was no drama surrounding him or anything. I've never seen his voice have less impact than it did this time. But thanks for listening to the recap. Upcoming updates. I still have to edit my Shoe Bomb interview, but as soon as I get a chance to do that, I will be putting that up. I have an interview with Turner that I have to edit. I'll be putting that up today. Maybe in a couple of hours, I will be jumping back on. If there's any stuff to show you guys for the Big Brother live feeds. And I think that's it. That's it. That's the recap. I don't think I have any more updates. Shout out to I gotta do my subscriber count. I gotta check out my subscriber count really quick. $167. Shout out to my 167 subscribers. I'm hoping to have 200 by Wednesday. That's only 33 more. And please, if you have not done so yet, check out my interview with Hannah. It was a really solid interview. We discussed some of her stint on Big Brother 23. We talked about how she felt of being the last person added to that particular alliance. Zingbot's comments calling her forgettable. How she felt about people who said the season was boring. What she thinks about Izzy, Cirie being on this season, and how not Izzy and Cirie, but how Izzy handled learning about Cirie and Jared, and what she would have done in that scenario. Her thoughts on the Luke ejection from the game. We went over a lot of things, so check out that interview. It's a really good one. I'm hoping to get more. I've always told you guys I have no foot in this game, and this is what I mean. When I started trying to do interviews, I was like, what is this? Is there like some kind of secret interview network? Sorry, I feel okay. I'm just stuffy for some reason, but actually all the other symptoms are gone aside from this stuffy. nasally thing. But I was like, how come I look at some channels and it seems like they just get these interviews back to back to back to back to back? Oh, now I'm interviewing Taylor. Now I'm interviewing this one. Now I'm interviewing that one. And I'm like, how? How do they just easily just get all these people, right? So I'm like reaching out. I'm asking people questions like, how do I get this? How do I do this? What gives me my in? Somebody told me, it's so cool that you have an in with these people. I'll tell you the truth. I don't have an in. That's the reason why when Big Brother 24 ended, I reached out to almost the whole cast and got an interview with nobody. My first interview from BB24 is Turner. That was unexpected. And the reason why I got that interview is because I met Turner at the Big Brother premiere. The reason why I got this interview with Hannah, because I spoke to her at the lip sync battle. The thing is, some of my supporters were like, Mark, the thing that you have that other people don't have is that you actually meet a lot of these people in person. So they're like, you're sitting on that and not taking advantage. So I was like, you know what? That's kind of true. So when I go, I'm going to actually just go up to them and be like, hey, I got this channel. I do this podcast, whatever. Some people said yes. Some people said no. But being able to actually like verbally ask them in person is a big benefit. So I got a few people from speaking to them and asking them in person. And then sometimes, not very often, I've had people say, I have this connection to this person and we talk all the time and I can assist you if you want to try to get this person on your podcast next. So I have created my in. The first time I even felt like I had an in, if y'all saw that Hannah interview, is when I said, you're the second Big Brother person that I've interviewed. And she was like, who's the first? And then she was like, wait, Alyssa Lopez was the first. And I'm like, how? How do you know that? Oh, yeah, she told me. And I'm like, oh, so before you even interviewed with me, you already knew that I interviewed somebody else from your cast. They talk about those group chats all the time. So it's pretty cool to know that you get one cast member and I presumably and hopefully she enjoyed doing the interview with me and told Hannah and whoever else, so that when I approach somebody else and say I do interviews on my channel, blah blah blah, they're already aware. I don't know the point of that whole rant. I guess it was just to say I have earned somewhat of an in, and I've reached a point where it's becoming easier for me to get people to agree to do these interviews. Because I remember when I started, it was based off of nothing. Hi, my name is Mark. I liked you on the show. I have a desire to do interviews because A, B, C, D, E. Now, it looks more like a resume when I reach out to them. My name is Mark. I do interviews. I've interviewed Wes Bergman, Hannah Chada, Shubham, John Brennan, whatever. Here's the links to all these people that I've interviewed. This is my page, so that makes it a little easier. And when they check out my credentials, they're starting to build an ad to something. I guess I'm saying all that to say, like, sometimes you start to do something and it doesn't make sense. And I'll always remember Wes telling me this very early on when I asked him for that advice, where he was just like, a lot of what you're doing probability wise is hard. You know, like it's not conventional, and it's not something that everybody succeeds at. But he said, if you love it, you know, continue the path, continue with what you're doing. And even as I was slowly getting interviews, very slowly getting these interviews, I'm sitting here at some point, and saying, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, why am I spending so much time doing this? The interviews were so hard to get, and then I put them up and there's like 60 views on the video. So why do I continue this path? It felt cool when I posted up yesterday this clip from my Wes interview where he said that the person he was looking forward to meeting the most on the Challenge USA was Tiffany from BB23. And Wes shared that clip. And then Tiffany saw the clip. And she shared the clip. She retweeted the clip and was like, imagine how I felt when I found out that Wes knew who I was. Then I'm looking and I'm getting all these notifications on my Twitter. Suddenly, that clip that I put up is at 6,000 views. So, you know, things happen over time. When you stick with them, consistently, even if they don't feel like you're going anywhere. Just keep going, keep pushing, and you know, things are rounding into place over time. Now, I'm not sitting here saying I've made it, because listen, I have 167 subscribers. This page is not even monetized. I think that Hannah interview has like 140 something views on it, if I'm not mistaken right now. There's a long ways to go is what I'm saying. So I'm not even sitting here like I've arrived, but I'm just saying I'm now starting to feel like I'm finding a formula that's working for me, and that the success that I'm desiring is a matter of time. It's a matter of time. So thank y'all for your support. As always, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the replay crew. Hit the notification bell. We're getting deep into this Big Brother season. Well, not really. We just started. We're getting into the Big Brother season. There's a lot of things to talk about, break down. There's a lot of things to see. Hannah told me I was very optimistic for thinking that Cirie stands a chance to win, but I'm still rooting for Cirie. I don't care. And I'll talk to y'all soon.
So you literally were one of my very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on it.
That wasn't planned.
You know what? But I like this Canadian.
Well, thank you.